every week when I produce videos for this channel, I keep thinking to myself, if there's one person's life I can change and introduce them to the concept of options, because it's completely changed my life. And I'm 100% sure it can do the same for thousands of people that are interested in making a passive income. And what I wanted to do in this video is just walk you through one stock that I've been trading for the past month. You can see here I've been trading SanDisk since the 5th of November down to yesterday, since I'm recording this video, to the 28th of November. And I'm going to walk through exactly how much money I've made, what is the realized gains that I've made trading this stock. And again, this video is not to brag, it's to show you guys the power and to motivate, inspire people to start taking an interest in terms of selling options. So if you are interested in making a second income, or even completely overtaking your 9-to-5 day job income, I strongly suggest that you subscribe and watch this video all the way to the end. And for those who watch this video and want to take their trading seriously, again, you can book a free call with me. The link is down below. And let's get together. Let's talk about your situation, how much money you've got in your trading account, what we can do to generate a 1 to 2% return a week based on your portfolio size. And let's start reinvesting those profits into dividend assets or compounding wealth assets, so then we can start building a second passive income stream for you. So if you're interested, the link for that is down below. As I said, I've been trading SanDisk, and again, I'm not married to SanDisk. I've got no affiliation with SanDisk. It's a stock at the moment that has been quite volatile. It has had a massive upturn over the last 6 to 7 months. And the volatility that comes along with stocks that explode even to the downside or the upside, but this is exploded to the upside, comes with it high option premium. And you can go really far out the money to generate good amount of income. Now, before we go into that, let's just load up TradingView actually, and let's just have a quick look at where SanDisk is. And you can see here, you've seen the exponential growth that it's had. It has a recent pullback, which for me has been absolutely fantastic in terms of me generating income. Now, the key thing to realize here is there's good option premium on the short side, whether it's selling puts or selling calls. Now, I pretty much transitioned my trading. About more than half of my trades now are selling naked calls on the upside. Now, people always say, what if it blows through your strike? It's the same for the downside, really. What if it continues to go down and blows through your strike? The only thing that I really found doing this now for a while is two things. One is that the market doesn't crash up. Now, that might not seem right when you see something like this, but when it goes up, it doesn't go up nearly as fast as it goes down in most cases. Even if you look at AMC or GameStop, yes, they explode, but what's happened? It eventually goes back down. You don't normally see a stock that goes all the way up and then continues to go all the way up as well. At some point, it goes back down, especially if there's no fundamentals to back this up. Now, I've got nothing against SanDisk as a company. Again, it is beating earnings, it is producing a profit, which is good to see. And I'm not really talking about the fundamentals of this company. What I am talking about is selling options way out the money. And you'll see this in my recent trades that I've still got open today, that I placed on Friday, on how we can do this. So, we go back to here. You can see I've done a number of trades, and you can see I've done a couple of puts as well on here, but you can see the majority of these are all calls, right? So I'm selling options above the current price in the hope, in my example, that they don't get there. And when these stocks explode, these option premiums can be quite juicy, because if you look at the other side of the trade, all the people think that SanDisk is going to the moon, and a lot of them have made a decent amount of money. The probability is really unlikely. The probability is less than 10-15%. And that's the side that I'm hedging against. And if I ever get into trouble on these trades, which is another thing that we'll talk about, is the flexibility to roll. So let's say I sell a call at 320, and I think I've got one. I'll just show you right now. So my current trades that I've got open, I've got that I've sold the December 19th 320, 340, 350. I've hedged myself out. Firstly, SanDisk has to make all-time highs, 320, 330, 340, 350, around this area here. So again, you've got to remember, the stock is trading at wherever the stock is trading at the moment, at around the 225 mark, or 223 as it says there. It has to go up over, 40-50% in the next 19 days. Look, it can happen. It's had these kind of weeks before where it has done that move. And even if it does do that in the short term and still makes all-time highs in the next week or so, the beauty about it is that A, I've got time on my side, and B, I can sell more calls at higher up strikes because the volatility and the premium will be there. And the ability to roll these positions out another 3 weeks or another month and go up to the 380, 390s, I can still do that for a credit. And that's what I love about this strategy. Now, I'm not saying it's the right strategy for everyone, but it seems to be working for me at the moment. And again, we can talk about these more if you again want to book a free call down below. So, how many trades have I done? I have done 34 trades this month, and again, a lot of those are rolls and opening trades, etc., etc. So the total proceeds, which in IBKR's fancy way of saying is the total premium that I've generated. So I've generated $3,181. Now I've got about 150k account, right? So that is about 2% in the month, right? Which again, this is only one stock. And again, I do a lot of trades, as I mentioned before. There is a lot of opportunity here just on this one stock alone to generate a decent amount of income for someone on a monthly basis. Now, of that 3,181, 769 of it is what I sold yesterday, right, at the 320, 340, 350 strike. So again, if I look at all of this, it's 2,412, and people will say, what about you got to factor in commission? So let's do that. So it's $2,404 total net premium collected on this trade. Now, you'll see here on a lot of these things, everything now is pretty much expired worthless. So again, you can see there's 100%. So if I select, so you've got 2404, if I select this, 2404, right? So all of that has expired worthless because they're so far out the money. And like I mentioned before, when I'm selling stuff here at the 320s and when it's up here at highs and it does this, oh, that's a beautiful feeling. That is a beautiful feeling. Again, I use monthly pivots. Again, it hasn't hit its last 2 monthly pivots, which again is fine. Not saying it has to, but what I'm saying is that the stock needs to correct itself. And that's what I found again is on the upside, it corrects itself a lot easier than what it corrects itself on the downside, because again, there's more fear in the market than there is excitement in the market. So that's just again something to bear in mind. And you have to pick the right stocks. You can do this. You can still do this on the S&P 500 or SPY, but the volatility is not really there at the moment. So you need the volatility as a catalyst, but you want the volatility catalyst to be to the upside, not the downside. But you can still get some juicy premiums in the downside and sell like a 160 per. The only thing is, I just don't know how far it's going to fall. So I hedge my bets to the upside. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys, is how options have changed. And in terms of placing these trades, again, these are what I just do on my phone, right? And again, I use Delta as I look at the chart. Don't get me wrong, I do look at the chart. I don't have anything fancy on here or anything like that. It's a Bollinger Band, it's a pivot, and some pivots. And you don't really need them. I just have them because I understand technical analysis. But as long as you've got Delta on your options chain, then, you know, you're selling options at a 10, 15, 20 maximum kind of Delta. You know, these ones here, and again, I like to look at the percentages. So if I look at the 350, right, the 350 strike is trading at 223. 350 minus 223, 127. 127 divided by 233. The stock has to make 54%, right? 54% in the next 19 days. That's a massive move that it has to do. So for every day it doesn't go up, or it stays flat, or goes up 1%, or even go down 5%, you can just imagine how much comes out of the option. Now, again, I'm not taking huge amounts out of this. It is a 350 strike. The margin on this is about 6-7k, right? So the return, let's work it out, right? So 212, let's go 7k. it's again, what is that? That's a 3% return in 19 days, right? Just on that one alone. And again, these are just going to be slightly better because the margin is probably an extra $200-$300 and I'm picking up 40-50% more premium. So that's what I mean by how we can make a decent amount of money using this thing. Another stock that I've been trading, again, BE, Bloom Energy, follows the same kind of pattern here. And again, it's got some juicy premiums coming in. See, now it's broken through its pivot. Did it touch this pivot? Nope, it hasn't hit the, what's this, the October pivot. And again, it can go back up. And again, this doji-ish looking candle here could be a way to go back up. But again, even if you sell at the 148 or the 160, like these are all these high wicks here, we're going to get resistance at this level. And that's what we're trying to achieve here by selling calls way out the money and trying to find these kind of stocks. Now, the main question people normally ask me is, how do I find these kind of stocks? There are a number of ways to do it. Bar chart has a really cheap, easy one to kind of do. You can look at FinViz and look at stocks that are overbought, oversold, and then look at the option premium. The main tool I kind of use is Option Samurai. I think it's one of the best tools out there. I can do a dedicated video on that. It is a paid for service. Let me know in the comments if that's something you guys are interested in seeing. But all I wanted to show you guys, again, this is not to brag, this is just inspiration for you to show how you can make a decent amount of income selling options, and again, picking the right prices and have a great ROI and probability of profit. And that probability of profit is, again, the piece about rolling, right? It's all about the concept of rolling. I love rolling. Rolling is a great thing. And it just buys you more time to be right. And you can also improve your break-evens in the process. So that's what I've been doing. Again, book your free coaching call down below so we can get together and see if it's something that you're interested in working closer with me to get results like this. And I shall see you guys in the next video.